Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be predicting the Euro 2020 round of 16 games. Some of them have turned out how I predicted in my predictions that I made probably like 2 weeks ago now. I think it was actually only one that I got completely right. I might end up reacting to those predictions at some point, probably at the end of the tournament if I do, but I probably won't bother to be honest. But I thought I would do some round of 16 predictions just to show what I think of the games which we have actually got. So, our first game is Italy versus Austria. Italy I'm very surprised by. I think I really underestimated them. I did predict them to get first in their group, I think. At least I hope I did. But I didn't expect them to do anywhere near as well as they were. I think they're winning I think they've won 13 games in a row or something, which is ridiculous, even though they've been against, could say easy teams, although, beating 13 teams in a row is still insane for any team without conceding in their last 10 at least, I think. They just look so strong. Austria, I did predict third in the group, I think, but they did just manage to get second after they beat Ukraine, and I think they probably deserved it. Both teams do have their own standout players, but Austria were the better ones on the day. So, I'm going to say 2-0 to Italy in this one. Was actually considering going for 3-0, because they do have, they're probably obviously going to be playing with their actual full team. And I can actually really see it happening, but I think Austria will put up a bit more of a fight than that. I don't think they'll just let them absolutely trample all over them, especially not in the knockouts. I feel like you don't get as many one-sided results in the knockouts. But onto our second game, which is going to be Netherlands versus Czech Republic. Czech Republic are another team which I didn't really expect to do as well, but I did predict them in their right spot, where I did predict them to be third. Patrick Schick obviously has been having a very good tournament. Honestly, hadn't even heard of him before this. Obviously, everyone has got their eyes on Thomas Souček as well, who has had a very good season. And I'm sure they will be up for the game, but Netherlands have also been playing very well. I wouldn't say they've particularly exceeded my expectations, but they probably have by a bit. They look very good, very solid. Not really at the back though, and I feel like later in the tournament when they go up against the top quality teams, that might let them down. And I could see their run ending, I wouldn't say shortly in the tournament, but against their first big team that they go up against. But I'm going to say 2-0 to Netherlands here. Again, I think Czech Republic will put up a good fight, but I think really Netherlands will dominate most of the game. So our next game is Belgium versus Portugal, which I would say is probably the best game of the round of 16. Obviously, I'm going to prefer England versus Germany, but from a completely unbiased perspective, probably the best game of the round of 16. This one's going to be a really good one. Both teams have looked good, although I think Portugal have done a bit worse than I did expect, although they have been in the group of death, which obviously will play a part in that. It's very hard to really figure out how good they are when they play against those type of teams, and they did crush Hungary 3-0, although they weren't that convincing. I did honestly think they were going to draw with them until the last 10 minutes where they absolutely battered them. And Ronaldo has been playing well as well. I'm sure he will maybe get another in this game, and same with Lukaku for Belgium. He's been playing very well, and Belgium as a whole have been. De Bruyne came back from his injury and is already just playing incredible. Belgium look better than ever, and I don't think many people were expecting them to do this well. I didn't, although I did predict them to go quite far. I think I predicted semis for them, and I could definitely see it happening. I'm going to say 2-1 to Belgium. So our next game is Spain versus Croatia, which again is going to be a very good game. But neither of these teams have really looked up to form. Croatia have been getting their form back, and the same thing goes for Spain. But Spain have been looking pretty bad. Although they did just beat Slovakia 5-0, which I think is the highest margin the team has won by so far in the tournament so far. But Slovakia, they're not a very good team, and they kind of gave up after the first probably 2 or 3 goals. It was a very easy game for Spain, although now that they can actually finish, they do look a lot scarier. And I'm going to say this is going to be another one of those games which are sort of 0-0 for a while, and then, eventually one team breaks through the deadlock and gets a 1-0 win. I'm going to say it's going to be Spain, because I think Croatia will probably maybe try and play a bit defensive and go to penalties, where I think their best chance would be, because obviously Spain's pretty bad finishing. Although I'm sure Croatia will also try and get some counter-attacks going. I could see this one going either way, although I think most people will be expecting Spain to get to the win here. So the next game is France versus Switzerland. This one, well, I think France, even though they haven't looked quite as good as some people did think they would be, are probably going to win this one. They've just got such an insane team. And Benzema has looked great after he's finally came back. And yeah, they haven't played as well as people thought, but again, they were in a group of death. It is quite hard to really figure out how good teams are when they are in such a difficult group. Switzerland, on the other hand, haven't really played terribly, but they also probably haven't played quite up to the standards I would expect. I think I predicted them to finish third, which they did, but considering that Turkey didn't do as well as they did, would have expected them to get that second ahead of Wales, but Wales, we'll get onto later, have done quite well. I'm going to say a 2-0 win to France here. I don't think Switzerland have what it takes to really challenge France. But they might be able to get a few goals. Shaqiri might be able to score a few more bangers. So our next game is the big one for me, Germany versus England. It's going to be a very tough challenge for England. Obviously a repeat of that 1996 Euro semi-final, and was it in the... might have been in the 2008 or 2004 Euros where we faced Germany, or actually that might have been a World Cup. I don't know. Honestly, can't really remember. But, there's a lot of history between these two, and obviously a big 1966 World Cup win. Well, what do I think is going to happen? Germany haven't looked incredible, but to be honest, neither have England. I wouldn't say England have played bad, it's just that they haven't really played very stunning football. They topped the group. I'll happily take it. But I would have liked to play a bit more fun football. Just basically parking the bus in the second half. We start off great for the first 20 minutes or so, and then the rest of the first half is okay, and then the second half is just awful. And I'm going to say it's going to be a 1-1 draw in regular time. Because what I think is going to happen is England's going to score in the first half, but then obviously because you see, I don't think our terrible football we play in the second half is going to be able to stand against one of the best teams in Europe. And I think Germany are going to exploit that, and I think it's going to be 1-1, and it will go to extra time, where it will stay 1-1. And then I think, I hate to say it, but I think Germany are going to win on penalties. It's not that I don't think England are a better team. I just feel like when I actually looked at it like that, it seems quite a hard game for England to actually win when we can't even perform well in the second half. And I honestly don't know if we're good enough. If we can actually stay consistent between the halves and play as well as we do in the first half, in the second, well, definitely, I could definitely see us winning. But I think it's going to be a very close one. I could see it going either way. And obviously I will be disappointed if England are knocked out in the round of 16. But I'm not going to be mad because it is still quite a tough game. And our final game is Sweden versus Ukraine. Sweden topped their group ahead of Spain. I wouldn't say they played incredibly, but obviously they played well to top it ahead of Spain. But Spain obviously weren't really that good. But they did play well to get that 0-0 draw against Spain. Well, I wouldn't really say they played well, but they did quite well to hold back Spain, even though really it was more Spain's fault for just not really making many chances. Ukraine, on the other hand, I was actually very impressed with. I kind of thought in a way they might have deserved second, but I still feel like Austria probably did. But I think they have a very good team. Yarmolenko's been playing well. Zinchenko obviously is a good player. And I actually think they're a decent team. So I think this is going to be a 1-1 draw. I think this is going to be a really close one. But then in extra time, I think Sweden are going to get the winner and make it 2-1. So those are my predictions for the round of 16. Sadly, I do not think England are going to go through. I'm not really going to... For me, it's just basically a 50-50, honestly. I can see it going either way. And obviously, I hope England go through. And I'll probably be making some quarterfinal predictions as well when we do get to that point. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.